Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Just when I thought I was out, oh boy, did they pull me back in. What's going on, everybody? Look, I don't even know where to start this stream, okay? Look, I feel like I've said this every single time that we cover Diddy lately, but it's like every time that there's a new development in this case, I hop on stream absolutely flabbergasted about what I'm going to cover. Today is no exception, but I think today, and again, the next time we cover Diddy, I'm probably going to take this back, but today might be the wildest chapter of all time so far in the Sean Diddy Combs case. We're going to talk about all the new developments. There are 9 new cases being brought against Diddy, putting the list to well over 100 accusers, which is probably the biggest scandal in Hollywood history when it comes to trafficking and assault. We're going to break it all down, and we're also going to take a look at the Abercrombie and Fitch former CEO who is now getting wrapped up in his own scandal. On top of that, the Diddy charges, we also have, of course, the story of Jamie Foxx speaking on Diddy as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my guy Youth. We got the Happy Dad hat on today. I was going to put it backwards, but I didn't want to look like a 40-year-old skateboarder having a midlife crisis. So we got the Kiss and the Happy Dad tonight. So let's take a look at these brand new allegations, these brand new lawsuits. Where do we even start, ladies and gentlemen? Where do we even start? So basically, the latest accusation that's being leveled against Diddy. I just want to make sure you guys can see my chat. 1 second. You guys can see the chat? Okay, we're good. Sorry to interrupt myself. So Sean Diddy Combs is being accused, and again, this is tough to say, so I'm going to try to censor it a little bit, of essaying a 13-year-old girl and a boy around the same age, which they don't actually specify, at a few of his New York events. Okay, so this is coming just actually in the last couple of days, but also there's been new suits that have come since. So the teens are 2 of 7 accusers who are filing lawsuits against Sean Combs, who is currently jailed in Brooklyn on federal charges for this entire case. The one accuser, a 13-year-old girl who only identifies as Jane Doe, of course, not surprised, says she was invited to a house party while trying to get into the Video Music Awards at Radio City Music Hall in 2000. Damn, this dude, listen, it's not a Hall of Fame, it's a Hall of Shame. But if there was a Hall of Shame for having a run as a criminal, this dude is the #1 guy in the Hall of Shame. 25 years ago, this accusation's happening. And let's not forget, Diddy already had his foot in the door of being a monster. Diddy already had his foot in the door of being a creep for years and years before that. This dude has had like a 30-some-year run of just being a fucking horrible person. I mean, again, it's hard to wrap your mind around. So it says she was selected by a limo driver who worked for Diddy to go back and meet Diddy, I guess, on her quest to get into the awards, because she, quote, fit what Diddy was looking for. That's what the limo driver said. She fit what Diddy was looking for. Once inside the party, she was made to sign a non-disclosure agreement and then swiftly drugged before Diddy and an unnamed celebrity rapper, an unknown celebrity AR'd her, rather. That's what it said. I thought it said rapper. So Diddy and an unnamed celebrity essayed this girl while another celebrity watched. That is the allegation that's going on. So 13-year-old girl gets brought to a Diddy party. Within like roughly an hour or so of being there, she claims she was essayed not only by Diddy, but with 2 other celebrities, one who was actually involved and the other who was just complicit. So, I mean, this is actually insane to think about. And again, this is what the issue is with this case, is that we're not just dealing with one individual, okay? Not only was Diddy just sort of the face of it, he's also just the tip of the iceberg when you think about all the different people who could be involved in this. And who knows who these celebrities could be. I mean, these are 2 celebrities at a New York party. The thing is about these celebrities is that the scene is only so big. when it comes to these circles, right? We see a lot of the photos from these parties, and we see a lot of the, video clips and people coming and going. A lot of the times it's the same crowd, okay? It's the same sort of group of people when it comes to celebrities. You got your New York celebrities, you got your LA celebrities, and these people in these cities are, for the most part, clicked up, and it's a lot of the same crowd, the same people. And we know who those people are when it comes to Diddy. We know those same people are Jennifer Lopez. We know that the people at Diddy's parties around that time especially were Dame Dash. They were Jay-Z. Okay? They were all of these people. And the thing is that only so many people can actually get close to Diddy when they're in these parties, right? So you think about the limited circle of people, then think about the limited circle of people who would actually be allowed in the room while these things were happening. So that pretty much narrows it down quite a bit. I mean, there's only probably like 35 to 50 people on the entire planet who this could be. And a lot of them's, we know their names. People are asking about Jay-Z. Yeah, Jay-Z was one of those people. And again, I'm not claiming that I, know of any crimes that Jay-Z has done. Because we've seen a lot of YouTubers, a lot of streamers getting cease and desist letters from Jay-Z's lawyers. People who represent Beyonce have been reaching out and making people, even with less subscribers than me, take their videos down, trying to get their channels banned and threatening to sue them. So just to be very clear, I'm not on here saying, oh, Jay-Z did this and that. What I am saying is that he's curiously close to crime at almost all times. Like, Jay-Z is a fucking twat hair away from the worst crimes in the entire planet, always. And you expect me not to believe this guy knows something? Again, I'm not going to say he knows something. But I'm not saying he doesn't know something. You know what I mean? Cowden in the chat says, has anyone else been arrested for this? That's a good question. Not yet. Not yet. It looks like they're building a case, and the trial is going to be starting for Diddy. The trial, I think, I'm just going to pull it up. Diddy trial start date is the 5th of May. So May 5th, 2025 is when the Diddy trial will start. If he makes it that far, that is. Just had to throw that in. So that is when we can expect to hear a lot of the other names. That's what we can use to, we'll have a reference there at some point. Z Corp says, don't assume. Well, Z Corp, I'm not assuming anything. What I'm simply noticing is that Jay-Z is awfully tied in with a lot of criminals. But I'm not necessarily making any assumptions there. That's just a matter of fact. He will be set free. Why would he be set free? But let me not get sidetracked. We're reading about these new allegations, guys. So for anyone who's just joining, Diddy has now been accused in 7 new lawsuits. Actually, sorry, 9 new lawsuits. And 2 of them we're reading through here, involving allegedly a 13-year-old girl and a teen boy around the same age. So let's continue to read. Where we left off was that the 13-year-old girl came to Diddy's party. She was made to sign a non-disclosure agreement. She was drugged shortly after, allegedly. And then she was essayed by Diddy and another celebrity while a third celebrity watched. Okay, that's for anybody who's just joining. That is where we left off. So let's continue reading. So it says, let me see here. We're going back. There's a lot of details here, guys, to go through. Holy smokes. So it says, celebrities milled about the living room while wait staff carried trays of drinks, music blasted, and partygoers did drugs. This is what the lawsuit says. The 13-year-old girl said she tried to walk to the VMAs. Tried to talk her way into the VMAs, then tried to find a limo driver who could get her into the after party. We read that part already. She accepted a drink with a reddish yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. Okay, so that doesn't sound good. It says after drinking the drink, she started to feel woozy and light-headed and needed to lie down, so she entered what she thought was an empty bedroom and didn't lock the door. These are, I mean, this is like this is like we're reading a Stephen King book. Like, this is out of a horror show. And again, I mean, you could say, like, when I hear of like a 30-year-old woman who stumbles into a stupid, and let me see, this is where people are going to try to get me. Let me make this very clear. There's no scenario where hurting anyone is ever okay. But when it's a grown-ass person who's like, oh, all these creepy people invited me into a house and they offered me these strange drinks and I drank them and I didn't know, that makes me scratch my head and be like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're an adult. This is a 13-year-old girl, okay? This is a young kid. So when you're thinking, why would someone put themselves in this situation? I understand that, but at the same time, we got to remember, like, these are minors. These are people who can't make decisions for themselves. So this is incredibly distressing, the fact that it was even accepted to have a 13-year-old there. I mean, if I was at a party for adults and there's a 13-year-old, that is automatically would be a red flag to me unless I was involved in some shit. So these people, man, they're in deep. And just picturing the scene, you got people walking around woozy, you're handing out strange drinks. And again, it's you see people who are well of age who even find themselves in these strange situations. So preying on young people is as sick as it gets. It says she started to feel woozy. In walked Sean Combs right after she lied down with a male and female celebrity in tow. Oh no. Don't tell me it's mm-mm and mm-mm. You know what I mean? I don't want to get sued. These motherfuckers are suing people. Like, seriously, they're suing people with less followers than me. I'm not a big channel by any means, but they're suing people with like 5,000 subscribers for talking about this. I mean, if I get sued by Jay-Z and Beyonce, that'd actually be kind of cool. Like, I feel like that's good for the resume. Yes, I have a great CV. I have experience in SEO. I've been sued by Jay-Z and Beyonce. It kind of rolls off the tongue a little bit. But I mean, Sean Combs, says here, walks in the room with a male and a female celebrity. I mean, there's only so many people that it could be, but we can't go there yet. We have to let the process happen of the courts. Combs aggressively approached the plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her, and said, "You are ready to party." He then threw the girl to the male celebrity, who took off her clothes, held her down, and essayed her while Combs and the female celebrity watched. Wow. Oh, it just turns my stomach even reading this. But guys, I do think it's important to read this because I think we need to acknowledge how deep this runs. It seems like at this point in time, we're at least accepting the fact that this stuff is real and that there's a lot of this stuff going on. So I really do think that reading through it hurts. It's hard to read. But at the same time, I think it's important to read because we got to understand how deep this runs and we got to understand how many people were involved. So this is tough stuff. This is tough stuff. This isn't fun to read. Combs then took his turn. When I say essay, just look up the term for essay. I'm trying not to get us banned off YouTube, so I have to say essay. Combs then took his turn essaying the girl while the celebrities looked on, the lawsuit alleges. Combs tried to get her to perform oral sex on him, but she hit him in the neck. And she stopped. What does that mean, and she stopped? So she must have maybe started and then stopped. She then grabbed her clothes and shoes and left the bedroom, roaming naked through the house, looking for the exit as the party continued. Wow. So here's the thing. This is actually really distressing to me because I've been on here. See, this is kind of changing my perspective on the whole Diddy parties. Because the one thing that we're continuously told about Diddy parties, especially by the celebrities who've been at these parties, who are not necessarily implicated in the crimes, is that everything was sort of sectioned off. So that if there was stuff going on at the Diddy parties, we're always told that could have been a bunch of people there who were not involved and were not privy to this. But now we're seeing, and again, it's not proven to be true just yet, but if it is true, we're now seeing that like there's a naked minor running around beat up, trying to find a way out of the house as the party continues in Diddy's home. So if that's true, that would mean everybody who's ever been to one of the parties basically needs to go down. We're talking Leonardo DiCaprio. We're talking Donald Trump. We're talking Howard Stern. We're talking all the big names. And I was just on here the other day saying, well, I don't think those people are necessarily implicated just because they were there, because everything was sectioned off. But think about it. Why would I believe these people? Okay, if I went to a Diddy party, if I was a celebrity, what am I supposed to say? Yeah, I did it? Like, what are you going to say? Yeah, I saw everything. It was horrible. God. I mean, Jesus, he was doing all this stuff. Finally, somebody asked me. No. You're going to say, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I went to a Diddy party, but that happened upstairs, and I was in the basement. It's all bullshit. So I'm starting to think now that we got a serious problem on our hands. We got a lot of people who went to a lot of parties, and they claim not to know anything. I don't believe that they don't know anything. That is the issue that we're encountering here. How many times can you go to a guy's house who is a serial rapist at these parties is where he's doing it? How do you expect me to believe you're going to these parties and you've never seen anything, never heard of anything? Where was Diddy during this party? You never, I mean, the guy disappears for 2 hours. There's naked people running through the house screaming. You're telling me you don't know anything? Come on now, bro. Anybody who believes that's a fucking idiot. So I got to take it back, guys. I got to actually take back what I was saying because somebody asked me this. They said, what are your thoughts on these celebrities' relationships with Diddy? And I kind of said I don't buy that they're all involved. I still don't completely buy it, but I do think they all at least heard rumblings. Because we have to remember, too, we all heard stuff about Diddy. Like, I always knew, just as a kid growing up, oh, that guy Diddy, he's crazy, he loves to party. Why would I know that? I was a fucking kid in Canada. Why would I know that Diddy likes to party? There's no reason I should know that, but the word gets out. So if you expect me to believe that the billionaires and millionaires didn't know about this who went to his parties, I'm not buying that no more. I'm not. Shout out to my guy from Russia. He says, Diddy's an agent of the Kremlin. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm glad you're here to enlighten us on that, my friend. I wish I could pronounce your name. I think if I try, it may offend you. I may not say it properly, so I'm going to go ahead and avoid that. Okay, so it says, after the girl ran out of the house naked, it goes on a 20-minute tangent in the middle of reading a story. After the woman ran out, she put her clothes back on and walked the streets. She said she found a gas station where a clerk let her use the phone to phone her father. Because this is before Uber, too. So we have to remember, like, not every kid had a phone, and she couldn't have just called an Uber, I guess. Now, the other accuser in this case is 17 years old. This is a male victim now that we're moving on to who accuses Diddy. The 17-year-old accuser, John Doe, of course, said he wanted to break into the music industry when someone tied to Combs recruited him to attend a hotel party in Manhattan in 2022. So this is 22 years after the case we just covered this guy is still at it. Thank you, Michael. So his lawsuit doesn't name the hotel or give the date that the party took place. So again, a lot of these lawsuits might be fake. I mean, look, again, we've covered this before. When there's a lot of true stories coming out and everybody's piling on, we will get some fake stories as well. I'm not saying the story we're about to read is fake, but I am saying not providing a hotel name or a date for the party is pretty sketchy. I mean, 2022, you could probably go back to your text history, you could go to your bank statement. Like if you're really doing a lawsuit, you could probably find out what day it was. I digress. I like to do that. I like to digress. So basically, the recruiters promised the teen that he would meet music industry bigwigs and celebrities when he arrived at the hotel. Diddy greeted him and handed him a drink. Oh God. Oh God. The second you hear Diddy handed him a drink, the story never ends well after that. Like, we've never heard a story, oh, I was drinking with Diddy, I had a great time. Diddy hands you a drink, it's over with, son. It's over with. So apparently Diddy actually did enlighten the kid a little bit about the music industry. He talked to this 17-year-old about the business. Basically probably feigned that he would help him. He tried to act like he would probably put him in touch with other people who were big. And said he could make the teen a star. That's what the lawsuit alleges. The teen started feeling strange not long after having the drink and talking with Combs. And the suit alleges that Combs is known for dosing his guests with the date rape drug GHB, mixing it in drinks and body oils. Whoa, hang on a second. So Diddy was mixing GHB into his baby oil. This has got to be the sickest man alive. This dude was a revolutionary of crime. Who comes up with this shit? He had GHB laced baby oil. Guys, that's the craziest fucking thing about this whole case. That's the craziest shit I've ever read in my life. GHB laced body oils he would use to dose his guests. Jesus. That's insane to me. It says after the like Jesus, this is a lot. Let me read this. So after the teen started to feel strange, he went looking for a bathroom, but instead stumbled into a bedroom where several people were having group sex, including Combs and another artist he recognized. Okay, so that detail doesn't make sense. He said he was with Diddy, but then he says he walks into a room and Diddy was having group sex. How does that work? Maybe he separated from Diddy and then it happened. I mean, I would imagine he's in a big place here. This isn't a studio apartment we're talking about. So it says Combs grabbed the 17-year-old boy, led him to the bed, and forced him to lay down. There, as other participants performed sex acts all around him, Combs molested the teen for an extended period of time, trying to get him aroused. I'm sick. I fucking... This is the worst yet, guys. This is the worst yet. I hate reading this shit, but... He told Combs he couldn't get aroused because he needed to use the bathroom and walked away, claims the lawsuit. As Combs busied himself with the other people in the bed, the teen called a friend to pick him up and fled the party. Combs continued his party as if nothing had happened, the lawsuit alleges, but for the victim, everything had changed. So a 13-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy, now alleging that they were both assaulted, viciously assaulted by P. Diddy. And we have to remember, too, that both of these suits are citing that there's other celebrities involved. So this is bad news for everybody. Mostly it's bad for the victims, but this is bad news for everybody involved. So apparently the teen told his friends what happened, then passed out in the car on the ride away from the hotel. He's since abandoned his music aspirations and grapples with his trauma and fear ever since the incident, and he was afraid to report Combs' alleged actions. The other lawsuit includes allegations from a man who owned a business renting luxury cars and jewelry to Combs and others, who said Combs molested him at a 2022 Ciroc vodka promo party in California. And a personal trainer who said he was drugged at a California party and passed around by Diddy and others, quote, like a party favor for their sexual enjoyment. Wow. Wow, man. I mean, you can't even make, like, I feel like there's definitely, again, there's over 100 lawsuits against Diddy right now, so some of them are bound to be fake. But some of this stuff is so ridiculous that, you know, when they say you can't make this shit up, it's like you can, but it's so ridiculous that you would almost make up something less crazy. Like, if you're going to make some shit up, like, that just sounds too specific and just too embarrassing. Like, why would you make something up like that? I don't know. I guess probably to make a lot of money. I mean, it's kind of foolish to say why would you make it up. Obviously, to get paid was why you could make it up. But it doesn't sound made up. I mean, you know, I guess we're not going to know until the trial. So these are some of the new allegations against Sean Diddy Combs. Absolutely shocking, guys. All I know is that this dude, right now, the silver lining of the story is that this guy is behind bars where he belongs, okay? This dude is in a correctional facility. He's not getting out, okay? This guy's not getting out. And I don't think we have any worries about this dude ever doing a crime again. I do question what will happen to him in jail still. I still feel like there's a really solid chance that something will happen to him. Either it could be something from another inmate who does it, or, you know, he's going to get Epsteined. That's sort of what I'm saying. I think he's going to get Epsteined, honestly. I mean, they could probably make it look like someone in jail did it. There's a lot of ways they could do it. You know, for the Jeffrey Epstein one, I think, like, definitely, you know, they could have made it less obvious. Anthony, how dare you? How dare you say I got the pipe from Diddy, bro? That is such a slap in the face. I did not get a slap in the face from the diddler. Not a chance. But thank you for the super chat, my friend. I wish I had TTS. That would have been... I'm supposed to have TTS on, actually. I don't know where it is. We'll get that going for the next stream. That's hilarious. So yeah, man. I mean, look, I feel like I'm a little overwhelmed, but we're gonna keep going down the rabbit hole. The thing about the rabbit hole is that once you start digging, it keeps going and going. So, I mean, we've gone down just a small piece of the Diddy rabbit hole today. Okay. Somebody said, did he only assault guys? No, this is men and women that Diddy was an equal opportunity molester, my friends. A monster to the highest degree. This dude wasn't gay. This dude wasn't straight. This dude's just evil. Okay? Like, he doesn't care who you are, male, female, he doesn't give a damn. He's just the pure evil spirit. I feel like it's not even, it's almost more evil than it is sexual. Because I've made this point before. If Diddy wanted to have consensual sex all day, he could have done that. This dude could have been fucking 24/7 without hurting anybody. He was rich. He's been famous for 35 years. He could have fucked all he wanted without hurting anyone. Why would he have to hurt people? He didn't have to hurt people. He did it because he's evil. Simple and plain. Evil's a real thing. I don't think it's as common as people make it out to be, but evil is a real thing, my friends. There's no other explanation for it. This dude had the key to everything, and he didn't want it. He didn't want that. Consent, pff, please. This dude wanted to hurt people. And please don't clip that. That's the only thing I need. Cassius Morris laughs at giving consent. That's the last fucking thing. I'm going to get canceled before I even blow up. But it is scary, Seth. It is scary. And it's absolutely terrifying to think that a person would do that, you know? Hey, thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to my guy. I knew you were just joking around, man. That's the thing. I like laughing with you guys. I don't take myself too serious, but thank you for the donation, my friend. So I see a lot of people supporting Diddy in the chat. My question for the people who support Diddy, what is it that makes you think he's innocent? Like, could somebody articulate it to me? Because they're like, I just go based on facts. Like, I have no personal vendetta against Diddy. It's just there's a lot of evidence against him, supposedly. So if anyone could articulate to me why they think Diddy's innocent, because I don't think it's a lot of people, or maybe it's just trolls. I think it might just be trolls who are just joking in the chat. Let me know. So let's read a little bit more about what's been going on. So currently it's up to more than 100 people who have accused Diddy of sexual abuse. On October 15th, a woman named Ashley Parham filed a suit against Diddy in a California federal court case claiming she was, quote, violently essayed by a gang including Diddy and accomplices in 2018 after she claimed on a FaceTime call with the Bad Boy Records founder that she'd been involved in the 1996 killing of Tupac Shakur, which set her up for retaliation. What? Yeah, Anthony, that's the thing. I think they do it too. I feel like it's Diddy's buddies in the chat who were telling me, free Diddy. He's probably paying for bots or something like that. Appreciate your support, brother. Thank you. So, hold on. She was violently essayed by a gang of people, including Sean Combs, after she claimed that he'd been involved in the killing of Tupac Shakur. So, oh, wow. So he basically took retaliation against this woman allegedly for saying that he killed Tupac or set up the Tupac killing. Wow. Boy, that's sure going to clear your name. I mean, that's sure to calm everybody down. I didn't kill anybody, and just for saying that, I'm going to assault you. It's like, I don't think that's calming anybody down. Okay? Jesus. And by the way, we all know that Diddy was the guy who put out the hit for Pac with Keefy D. I think at this point that's accepted. And I wouldn't put it past him if he did it to Biggie too. I wouldn't put it past him. You know, this is honestly like, guys, the stuff that this person's done, if these things are true, here's the sad part. If the cases against Diddy, all 100 cases are true, then putting a hit out on somebody is actually one of the least criminal things he's done. I mean, I don't want to say least criminal, but it's one of the least evil things he's done, is actually killing someone. Because the sad reality of some of these cases is that some of these people are so traumatized, they'd probably rather be dead. Okay, if you're in a group, like, I can't even imagine being in the situations that these people are claiming. And if even one of them is true, we got a serious problem. But it's crazy when putting out a hit on somebody is the afterthought of your evil. Like, oh, he might have also killed somebody, but that's just on the side. This dude is a piece of work. What all did they find in Diddy's house, says Cowden in the chat? They found 1,000 bottles of baby oil. And the one thing that they found, too, is actually the main reason he's behind bars and probably one of the most serious charges. they found a bunch of AR-15s and automatic weapons with the serial numbers and codes shaved off. That alone is a super serious felony, and he's going away for a long time. And that's the issue with his crimes, is that there's not really any argument for his innocence, because any way that you slice it, he's still a criminal. Even if he never SA'd anybody, even if he never killed anybody, he's still a criminal because he's done so many crimes. Like, this dude is a walking lawbreaker. Like, this dude is just off the charts. But that is, yeah, so basically they found illegal weapons, they found drugs, tons of GHB, which is the date rape drug, and all of the baby oil as well, 1,000 bottles. And like I said, that's going to be the next mixtape. 1,000 bottles. 1,000 bottles on my dresser. Yes, sir. No, sir. Actually, no, sir. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. I do not sign off on Diddy. That's a no, sir. But that sounds like a Gucci Mane mixtape, though. 1,000 bottles. We got to we got to laugh it off at some point, guys. This is heavy stuff here. We got to bring some levity to it. Anthony, you hurt someone, you will get what's coming to you. That's right, brother. That is so right. I wish we had TTS. I don't know why I want to get the TTS. Let me see. It's okay. We'll put it on next time. Yeah, the massage oil, the baby oil. WizDroid says, my life is dedicated to Beyonce. Really? Tell me more about that, Wiz. Why are you dedicated to Beyonce? Have you encountered Beyonce? Do you know her? Do you know of the allegations against Beyonce that she's allegedly a dirty woman? Have you heard of these allegations? Let me know. All right, guys, let's get back into this, because this is the real information here we're going to read off the laptop. On October 1st, that is when we got the number of 120 accusers who plan to file civil lawsuits across multiple states alleging crimes like SA. I can't even read all these crime names. I can't even read it. Various forms of SA. Combs on September 27th was accused of drugging and SAing a woman on multiple occasions, with the woman identified as Jane Doe in the lawsuit further alleging that she became pregnant after one of the encounters. She is seeking undisclosed damages. He's never leaving jail or prison. Shane, I hope not. Look into the Jay-Z and Beyonce, also the Kardashians. Yes, the Kardashians should be looked at. They should be looked at. 100%. And I hate to like play the finger pointing game, and thank you for the support, brother. I hate to play that game of like, just because you're famous, you're involved in bad, evil things. But I mean, damn, it's starting to look like it. I mean, I always used to think it was a bridge too far when somebody's like, oh, all famous people, they're Illuminati and they're evil. But I'm like, bro, there's like 10 that are not. I mean, everybody is implicated in these things. There's so many people implicated, and it's all the top dogs. So it's like, it's kind of hard to make an argument for celebrities not being like generally evil. I used to think there was a lot of evil celebrities, and then most of them were generally pretty good. I'm actually starting to think it's the opposite now. And a lot of people probably felt the same way, felt that way for a long time. But for me personally, that's not something I ever really realized. So this is like a huge eye-opener for me. Seth says, he said the baby oil has GHB in it. It's transdermal that would go into the body. Exactly, Seth. We were just reading that earlier. And I don't know why that wasn't reported before. But just imagine like the danger of handling that for like the law enforcement that went there. I mean, it's like a house of horrors going to Diddy's house. And to think that his sons, Diddy's sons, were so indignant about their father being charged or even speculated about they had such a fucking attitude on them, defending their dad. It's so funny to me because I do not buy for a second that they didn't know about this. King Combs, who's not a king. What's his real name? I refuse to call him King Combs. What the fuck am I, a peasant? King Combs. What's his name? Christian Combs. Okay, Christian Combs. Like, who the fuck? What do I look like calling another man a king? Christian Combs definitely knew about this. And let's look at, before we look into the Jamie Foxx thing, let's take a look at some of this information. This latest story here says P. Diddy's son's careless and controversial move may backfire on the entire family. So the whole family's cooked. P. Diddy's son's ill-advised move of uploading a YouTube video featuring a topless... Wait, what do you mean topless? Sorry. The way these people write articles sometimes, it makes no sense, and then it makes my brain break when I try to make sense of what I'm reading. Yeah, this article is cooked. Hold on a second. We got to find a better one, guys. I can't read from people who don't know how to write. So it says here, Sean Diddy Combs' family is standing next to him amid the sex crimes charges. So basically, in a statement issued Tuesday on social media, 6 of the music mogul's kids defended him more than a month after he was arrested in New York City on trafficking charges. The statement was posted on Instagram by Quincy Brown, who is Diddy's 33-year-old adopted son. I didn't actually realize he had an adopted son. It says, this past month has devastated our family. Many have judged both him and us based on accusations, conspiracy theories, and false narratives that have spiraled into absurdity on social media. We stand united, supporting you every step of the way. We hold on to the truth, knowing it will prevail and nothing will break the strength of our family. We love and miss you, Dad. I mean, give me a fucking break. That's a chat GPT sounding fucking bullshit ass statement right there. Chat GPT, can you make my dad sound innocent? Give me a fucking break. But you know what? Even though I feel like some of his kids did know, because Christian Combs is implicated in crimes. Christian Combs is apparently involved in doing crimes himself. So I don't feel bad for him or anybody who did stuff. But for the people who didn't, the kids who didn't do stuff, I think are still victims. Like, if you didn't do anything involved with it and your dad is a monster like this, I actually think you're also a victim. And that's also still their dad. So it's a really sad scenario. Like, I actually I feel bad for his kids, the ones who were not involved. I got to really stress that. Because if you did it, you're a piece of shit. But, like, you can't blame them for loving their dad, right? So it's a sad scenario to me. I mean, I think the kids who are not involved are just as much victims. His entire family are victims of this. And I don't know if I should feel bad or if that's just a natural consequence of being a monster. Like, that's kind of the karma you get. It's almost what you deserve at a certain rate. So I don't think I necessarily feel too bad for them, but it is an unfortunate scenario. But again, that's on Diddy. That is on Diddy, and that is his responsibility. Now let's hop over to the next story here, which is about Jamie Foxx in relation to P. Diddy. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Jamie Foxx was recently in the hospital with a pretty serious issue. I mean, he had all types of issues. I don't know exactly what it was. But a lot of people, even before all this stuff about Diddy came out, were putting conspiracy theories about the fact that Diddy might have been responsible. And the theory was that Jamie Foxx knew about P. Diddy, he knew what was happening, and he was going to expose something. And again, this is a conspiracy theory. Now we're in conspiracy land, so buckle up. And the theory is that Diddy tried to deal with Jamie Foxx and he failed. That is the conspiracy. Now, Jamie Foxx has added fuel to the fire, adding to speculation that his hospitalization was, in fact, a result of P. Diddy. Reading here from Yahoo News, they say Jamie Foxx has refused to comment on the rumors adding fuel to the fire. So basically, that is what's adding fuel to the fire because he doesn't want to answer it. When he was asked to address the speculation on Friday, he simply said, "God bless you," before reassuring fans, "I'm good. I feel better." The rumor that the actor's hospitalization in 2023 was due to an incident involving Sean Combs started when Jamie Foxx filmed his Netflix special last week. But no, it didn't start last week. That's a falsehood from Yahoo because I've heard of this before. But this is what really sparked it again. So last week when he filmed his comedy special, during the show, Jamie shared with the audience a little of what had happened when he was rushed to the hospital. At the time, TMZ reported that several audience members believed Jamie Foxx claimed that Diddy, who was currently facing jail time, obviously, was somehow responsible for his medical issues. Videographer, hold on a second. See, now they're writing it weird again. Videographer Choke No Joke alleged to Comedy Hype's YouTube channel. Could have been written so much better than that. That the Oscar winner explained, quote, Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and Fox is the one who called the FBI on Sean Combs. What? Like, what the fuck? It's unclear if the comments were intended as a joke, as it appears different audience members had different understandings of what happened. But it is reported here that multiple audience members at this taping heard Jamie Foxx saying something along the lines of, P. Diddy put me in the hospital. Now when he's being asked about this, he's not responding because, again, we have to remember, when you're filming a Netflix special, you're talking to the crowd. There's a lot of material that's not included in the final version. So there is obviously lots of banter with the crowd, and it sounds like at least a lot of people understood that he somehow was talking about Diddy. Not a great source. I mean, I would like to see some video. I would like to see some of this. But again, when you're at a Netflix taping, they also take your phones. Okay, we're in 2024, almost 5. When you go to a taping like that, they have a secure bag where you put your phone and you can't take it out. The bag locks. So basically, there is going to be no audience video of a Netflix taping. It says here, after the initial report, TMZ released another story where the audience members told what, oh my God, whoever is writing this shit on yahoo.net needs to be fucking fired. Like, I cannot believe these people can't write a fucking sentence. They must be translating it from another language because the way it's written is not proper English. I'm going to read it in my own way. I'm just going to rewrite the article. After the initial report, TMZ released a story where audience members told them that Jamie actually said, quote, people keep asking me if Diddy was responsible. He was not responsible. If he was, I would have been dead. What? Okay, guys, honestly, this story this is ridiculous. I mean, what the fuck? Did they all have collective amnesia or something when they went in? Like, why can't anybody remember what he said? So I would say at the very least he did talk about Diddy, but this is not a solid source. So Jamie Foxx, look, if he wanted to end this, he would just say this is ridiculous. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Diddy had nothing to do with it. However, I would imagine that Jamie Foxx has legal counsel. And I would imagine that Jamie Foxx has been told not to say a word about P. Diddy. Okay, that's what I would imagine. And I think that's a perfectly good move on Jamie Foxx's part. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. Jamie Foxx, of course, spoke a little bit more about his situation. He says he revealed he nearly died. He saw the tunnel, but not the light. Damn, that's scary as hell. He saw the tunnel, but not the light. Earlier this year, he revealed that he'd asked his boy for Advil for a bad headache, and then was later gone for 20 days. Yeah, man, super shady. The whole, the whole scenario is super shady. I feel like there really is some weird stuff going on, man. The whole Jamie Foxx thing, and we've seen people, it kind of sounds like what happened was somebody tried to kill him and he survived it. We know all it takes is one pill to be switched. Kanye's talked about it, how they'll switch a pill. Look what happened to Michael Jackson. Look what happened to Prince. It's just, oops. Took the wrong thing. Oops. Took a little too much. Whoops, he's gone. Doesn't take much. And it seems to happen a lot to celebrities who know something. Doesn't it? It happens to other people, sure. But how many times have we heard a story of a celebrity who knows a little something? They know a little something. And suddenly, whoops, took a little too much. Took the wrong dose. That's all I'm saying. At the very least, you have to admit it is a curious scenario. It's a curious scenario. There are open-ended questions. I got something in my eye. But there are open-ended questions here. Leia says, what's really scary, I fear, is this is actually just scratching the surface. Have you heard Tupac's daughter talk about it? I have not heard Tupac's daughter talk about it, Leia, but I definitely got to look that up. I heard Tupac's brother talking about the hit recently, but I have not heard his daughter talk about Diddy. What did Tony say? Tony says, 2C is ketamine and other drugs mixed together with the coke. Patricia says, tunnels under Diddy's house led to Michael's house. Oh, come on. That's not true. One thing about me, I'm definitely biased. I love Michael Jackson. So, Michael Jackson slander will not be tolerated in here. I'm sorry. I love Michael Jackson. All right, guys, let's hop over to our last story. If you're just watching, we covered all of this crazy stuff about Diddy and Jamie Foxx and the new accusations. If you missed the beginning, just make sure to subscribe. And if you're liking this stream, hit the subscribe button up above on your mobile device. If you're watching on your desktop computer or laptop, it's down below. Please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 65,000, and we're getting there slowly but surely. We just hit 60K, so thank you. So this story, shout out to my guy Chuck, who sent me this story. Chuck is somebody on Facebook who sent me this, and the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, this goes with the Diddy story, has now been accused of sex trafficking. Okay, this is a story that just came out in the last couple of days. Another toothpick, my friends. Another toothpick. And this is definitely a strange story. So let's read into this a little bit real quick as the page loads. So former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO has pled not guilty to sex trafficking and prostitution charges. This just happened today that he pleaded not guilty. Prosecutors allege that Jeffries, his romantic partner, and a third man lured young men into sex parties by promising them modeling jobs. So this is honestly not something that would be super hard to believe. We do know that the modeling business is one of the worst. Right? When it comes to this stuff, it's definitely one of the more predatory industries, I would say. I have a good friend of mine who's a model, and she's very successful. I see her everywhere. I walk in the mall and I see her on a billboard. And I worry about her, man. And she's good, but I worry about her anyway because the business is incredibly predatory. A lot of drugs, a lot of sex, good and bad, right? This is all things that could be good or things that could be bad. And the thing I find with these excesses, based on observation more so than actual experience, is that when it comes to excesses, drugs, sex, partying, drinking, it's like driving a Ferrari, okay? 1 second you're in full control, and the next second you're wrapped around a telephone pole. This is if you're speeding in a Ferrari. I should say speeding in a Ferrari. That's what it's like, navigating excesses. 1 second you're in control, you blink for a split second, and you're wrapped around a fucking pole. That is how this is. That's why I worry. But I digress. So here are the actual details of the charges. Federal prosecutors in Brooklyn unveiled a 16-count indictment implicating Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, and others in sex trafficking and prostitution charges. So let's read into this a little bit. It says U.S. Attorney Breon Peace, whose office won a conviction and 30-year prison term for the singer R. Kelly. Okay, so these are the same people who brought down R. Kelly. Shout out to New York, by the way, for actually trying. Like, it's good to see the New York legal system actually prosecuting people who deserve to be in jail and actually putting, like, a foot forward to ending stuff that's bad. Shout out to them for that. Like, there's a lot of bad policing in New York, a lot of bad laws. This person here, guys, this is the guy from Abercrombie and Fitch who's being charged with 16 counts of prostitution and sex trafficking. We're reading about him now. So the same people who brought down R. Kelly are prosecuting this case and said powerful people have for too long sexually abused young people who yearn for careers in fashion and entertainment. The quote says, to anyone who thinks they can exploit and coerce others by using the so-called casting couch system, this should serve as a warning. Prepare to trade that couch for a bed in a federal prison. Wow, that's cold. I like that. I like that a lot. From the casting couch to the iron bed. Bro is not letting anything get past anybody. The defendants include Jeffries, who was 80 years old, his partner Matthew Smith, and James Jacobson from Abercrombie and Fitch, or I guess related to it, who allegedly recruited them, or who allegedly recruited men for them. Each was charged with 1 count of sex trafficking and 15 counts of interstate prostitution related to 15 unnamed victims between 2008 and 2015. A spokesperson for Peace said they are expected to enter formal pleas on Friday afternoon. Prosecutors said Jeffries and Smith paid for dozens of men to meet them for sex at their homes in Manhattan and in the Hamptons, Long Island, as well as many hotels in places such as England, France, Italy, Morocco, and St. Barths. These motherfuckers were getting down, Jack. St. Barths, Italy, you name it, they're going. Fucking sickening. Relying on their deep pockets and Jeffries' power at Abercrombie, Jeffries and Smith were, quote, dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international sex trafficking and prostitution business was kept secret, thereby maintaining Jeffries' powerful reputation. Prosecutors said Jacobson typically conducted tryouts where male recruits as young as 19 would have sex with him before being referred to Jeffries and Smith. They also said the scheme involved muscle relaxants known as poppers and props such as large sex toys and high-pressured enemas. That's fucking nasty, bro. That's just nasty. Men were required to sign non-disclosure agreements and pay damages if they told anyone, including family and friends, what was going on. The proposed class action lawsuit named David Bradbury, who took part in the BBC probe, separately accused Abercrombie of paying off people who accused Jeffries of sexual abuse or harassment. Jeffries and Smith have asked the federal judge to dismiss the case in this matter. So this is a brand new story. Again, he has pleaded not guilty, guys. All I got to say is I'm not necessarily surprised. Um, I definitely think that this is something that happens a lot. I think at least, hopefully, most of it was consensual. Yes, it's still a crime. Yes, there's still negative things, but I'm hoping that at least this dude wasn't actually assaulting people in that way and he was maybe just doing illegal things. That would be best case because I hope there's no actual victims who are held against their will or anything like that. Um, but either way, it looks like no matter how you slice it, all of this is coming down, okay? The house of cards is coming down and people are going to be held accountable. We are going to be keeping an eye on this story, guys. So make sure to subscribe. The Abercrombie and Fitch iceberg, this is just the tip of it. And it sounds like a lot more people are going to be coming out and speaking about this. Make sure to hit that subscribe up above, guys, if you enjoyed the stream. Down below on your computer or laptop. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this stream. Let me know what you thought in the comments if you're watching the recording and you didn't get to talk with me in the live chat. What do you think of this, guys? Do you think Diddy's going to jail for life? Do you think he's going to get out? Do you think he was involved in going against Jamie Foxx? Do you think that's a conspiracy theory? I want to hear what you guys have to say. Don't be shy. Let me know down below in the comments. We don't all have to agree, but we should have an open conversation. I love to see what you guys have to say from all angles of it. And hello to Mello. Shout out to Mello in the chat. It would be a dream come true. I hope I made your dream come true, my friend. Have a beautiful night, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I don't mind this hat, actually. I got to break it in a bit, but it's not too bad. Talk to you guys tomorrow.